Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's some serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
In a cool minute, in a girl's at. It's going down. It's Gloria Mayfield Banks, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be on We Got Issues, y'all. Seriously. Talking about around the corner. Around the corner, you guys. We Got Issues, brought to you by the Force of Friendship. And when I tell you around the corner, I just got off a train from New York. So we got a lot to talk about, man. I was on the train, and all this news is happening. So I'm so excited to look at this and see perfect attendance. We're all here in this beautiful summer month. I don't know what the weather is like where you guys are, but it is absolutely gorgeous here in the Baltimore area. And this is what I want to tell. I want to tell all of our tribe members, we're so glad you're here with us today. Whether you're with us on Facebook or iHeartRadio or on our site, if you go to theforceoffriendship.com, you can see us and you can figure out whether you want to watch us live or you want to listen in, you want to lean in. We're so excited. You guys have been such strong participants this week. This is awesome. You're calling in at 313-778-7600. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things. So if you have an opinion at all about anything, today will be the day for you to call in and talk to us. You know, when these girlfriends get loose and they get to talk about whatever they want to talk about, we're excited about that. And we like the controversy. We're not good at the controversy, but we like the controversy. So if you have an opinion, we definitely want to hear. So much is going on. It's hard to keep track of it. You go from happy news to sad news, to happy news to sad news. There's so much going on, you guys, so much going on. But I will tell you, I'm feeling very, very inspired by listening to Tina Turner's story, you guys. Another huge icon. I just don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who doesn't know a Tina Turner song, at least one good Tina Turner song. But to know the life of Tina Turner and the background of Tina Turner and what she did and how she did it was so interesting. We're going to get into some of that. But before we do that, we're going to cover a lot of different topics, a lot of different news. And, you know, I'm going to, let's see, where are we going out to the West Coast? Because you got on that bright orange with the bright orange lipstick. Oh, my God. Look at her on the West Coast. Not only is she shining on the West Coast, but there's a lot going on the West Coast. But you look brighter, Caterina. You look better.
Thank you.
Thank you. Earl.
Yes, I am. I'm feeling great. We got feedback. We had a little issues yesterday too. Let's see. Let me make sure it ain't me. Okay. Is it me? Was it me? It might. I don't know. Okay. I am going to step away like this.
Okay.
It gets better. So I don't know if that's any better.
It is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll fix it. Yeah, after you do.
Figure it out after break. But I will tell you this: we have a weather advisory.
What? Yeah, no, let's talk about it right now. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, first, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this, Kat. Okay, so first I want to tell you, because we're going to all be talking. We got Sabrina in the pink. We got Chris in the white. We got you in the orange. We got me in the black. So we're going to all be talking. But right now, give us an update, because I got the last few minutes. What is the update on the championship of the basketball team?
Had an injury, and it was like, I mean, for a minute, I was wondering if it was a wrestling match. Sabrina, hello. They were fighting for that ball. But it was a good game. They played to the finish, and we got work to do.
Y'all got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do, baby. A lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Caterina, tell me, I don't know if we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Oh, we're going to talk about it. Yes. I mean, we spanked that booty last night, baby. We spanked that. I knew it was coming. Because I can't see your face either. Okay, but where have I been? You guys know that Nia is her longtime lover. They have an 11-year-old son. Nia Long is the Boston Celtics head coach. Is partner with Nia. That's right. I forgot about that. Now say that again, Sabrina. Nia Long, the actor, Nia Long, is
engaged, and she got up 5 years ago and said, why be married? What does marriage mean? They have an 11-year-old son, and she was there front row with her Celtics green top on, looking finer than wine. And it was just really, I said, where have I been? I didn't even know. But they're a power couple for sure. His first year coaching the NBA, and he's in the finals. Go on, brother. That is good to me. Good to me.
When I tell you, I forgot about him and Nia Long. And I remember when she broke off the engagement, but they didn't break off the relationship. And they talk about how cool he is. When he's winning, he's talking one way. When he's losing, he's talking the exact same way. He goes in the room after last. Okay, so we missed the game because of the Broadway show. But I watched like an hour of the after information. And I mean, Boston is a true contender for real. And they said for the Boston to win last night was massively huge to the momentum, to the strategy, to playing with Golden State.
Mental.
All that. Union Green. He was interviewed sitting next to his son. He was like, I played horrible. He didn't use that word horrible. He used another word that I'm not going to use, but he said he was horrible. And look, he got 2 points. Did y'all see that? He got 2 points and 5 fouls. They said he fouled out more than he got points. Oh,
what?
Right. Chris, even Chris knew what that meant. He got more fouls.
But the thing about basketball, which is so crazy, he'll come back and have a record-breaking night the next time they play. That's what I don't understand, how the games can be so lopsided from one night to another. It's really interesting.
It's really interesting. But Boston is hot. They're motivated. He's Jason is young, 24 years old, you guys. He is carrying the Boston Celtics at 24 years young. Can you even imagine his head at 24 years young? And then the center for Boston is playing with an injury. He's playing the entire game with a severe injury. And he said he would not play if they were not in the finals. I mean, so many good lessons.
It's champions. It's a lot of lessons. Champions for real.
I saw yesterday, Caterina, when Steph Curry went down, I was like, oh my, I mean, he was grimacing in pain. It looked so, I was like, oh my God, is he going to be out for the series? But I saw him, get back up. So hopefully you know, he's going to be okay. But it looked really bad when it looked like someone fell on his leg or something. Okay.
Chris, you're doing excellent, Chris. You're doing excellent.
Okay, Chris, go on, girl.
Thank
okay.
They said
Mama
Draymond
contribute
Green,
first.
they said Draymond Green got a foul because he helped pull people off when he heard Seth screaming from people being on top of him with his ankle being twisted or whatever happened to his ankle.
What's his name, Gloria? What's his name?
Mr. Green.
She's so messy.
Okay, it ain't
What is she
Draymond.
so
We
messy?
don't know that. Okay.
She's messy. Okay, that was a messy move, Sabrina.
He's Mr. Green with the podcast, and he talked about that yesterday. You hear that? When the reporter asked him about his podcast, he said, "Well, thank you for the advertisement." What is it? It's not Draymond. What is it?
No,
Draymond.
Draymond. Not with the T.
Draymond.
Not with the T.
What is it, Caterina? What's his name?
Draymond.
Draymond.
Well, whatever. Y'all knew what I was talking about.
It's
Mr.
not
Green.
whatever. Say people's names right. Say people's names right. Sophia.
But that was a big deal. That was a big deal. So the next game is Friday. And if you're in our tribe, you just go ahead and put in the we're gonna call in and tell us who you think's gonna win. Who are you calling to win? Okay, because Trina's calling Golden State, I guess. Are you calling Golden State?
Absolutely. 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 And
I'm going for Golden
everybody
State
would want
too.
it to be. You want it to be. It's a good series. Yeah.
Okay. And Sabrina, who you calling?
Celtics, baby. The green machine. Celtics all the way.
You ain't lived there for a long time.
So,
Chris, who you going for?
I'm going for Golden State.
Why?
Because I like Steph Curry. I like that they have a young team. I like to watch them shoot all the three pointers that they get from this end of the court to that end of the court. I know a little bit about basketball. Don't play with me.
I love it. Well, I know your husband's all in it, so I see you at the game sometime. Y'all, if you got not following these ladies on their social media, you got to follow them on the social media because you will be cracking up. I'm twisting between. Seriously, I love Seth, but I also love the coach of the Celtics, and I also love Jason, and I love the players on the Celtics. I mean, I love the storyline, and it's just from living in Boston 20 years. The dynasty that the Boston Celtics has supported, it's been amazing. But to see a new dynasty come up, it's also been very exciting. So it's a lot going on there. It's a whole lot of stuff going on in there. Okay,
Boy,
so
you can't be in the middle of the road. You can't be in the middle of the road.
exactly. Pick a team. Pick a team, baby. Pick a team.
Come on.
Because she going to jump on. Whoever's winning, she going to be like, that's
3-1.
my team. No, sister, pick a team.
I almost did it. And then Crisette decided to be messy. I was almost there. And then Chris talked about who's messy. I'm going to go with Boston. I'm going to have to go with Boston right now. I didn't want
just split the screen right down the middle. Split it right down. Over there is the
That's
one.
right.
Over
That's
here's the
right.
Celtics. That's right.
That's right.
Now it's gonna get messy. If we got any callers to call in and give us if they're bold enough to tell us, they're not chicken like I was, and you can call in and give us what your thought is because we'd really like to hear. Chris, talk about Get Up and Move for a minute. Talk about that before we go to break, because I heard y'all had a health nut on last night that I didn't see. Oh my goodness. Get Up and Move.
Yes. We had Paul Ritter on yesterday, and he always gives us excellent information on eating healthy. So today was my second day, Gloria, on the Peloton. So I want to hook up so I know when you're on so we can be on at the same time.
Yes.
I did. Yes. Now, this is the thing, girl. I am really trying to get used to hooking my shoes into the clamping it in. And the worst part is taking it off.
Go to YouTube. When you go watch this little clip on YouTube, it's about 2 minutes long. And you didn't figure it out? Oh, it helped me a lot.
I mean, I got it off, but it was still, it's not just as easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm sure it'll come to me, but I did 30 minutes there. It was a great workout. I mean, the sweat and this young lady that does it, she is like the bomb. Her last name is Love. Her last name is Love. and she has natural hair. And I mean, when I say that girl is so smooth, I was like, oh yeah, I want to be your friend. I mean, it was so good. So I did that. And then, of course, I gave a shout out to Sabrina because she's my accountability partner. But let me say the last thing I want to add is that Kiara and I went to the market today, and I got all fruits and vegetables. So I am going to not just get up and move, but I'm going to incorporate eating healthier.
Nice.
Oh,
so I'm coming for you.
She taking it up a notch. Taking it up a notch. OMG. We're together in a couple of weeks. We're going to see what kind of notch we're going to make. And she on a Peloton. She got everybody working out. Now we got to eat only fruits and vegetables. So those Twizzlers I had last night at the show, that's the last little Twizzler I'm going to be able to eat. I ain't supposed to be on it anyway. But we're going to come back. And we're going to get Chris's handle, my handle, and see who else is on Peloton. Phyllis is on Peloton. We'll be right back. We're going to have a blast today on this show, talking about everything. We got issues at 9:10 a.m. The Superstation out of Detroit, Michigan. And here we are with the force of friendship.com. See you in a minute. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love this. I love that we're talking about we got issues because we got so many issues. I love the fact that she put in there, oh my goodness, peer pressure is on there. We got some peer pressure around here, all kind of ways. Okay, Chris, so what's your Peloton handle? And what is, in the 2 days you've been on it, what is the thing you love the most?
Okay, so I'm just Lady Crisette. And what I've loved, I've really enjoyed the young lady that I'm watching. And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't, I just jumped right in, but I really like how easy it was to understand between the cadence and turning it up and, just getting into the groove of it. So, Kiera's excited. She's going to do her first class tonight, but I love just how you feel after you get off. I love that it's a new exercise that's working a different muscles in my body, because I normally am just a treadmill girl, and I know that you really need to switch it up. So my experience so far, the screen is wonderful. I mean, it's been awesome. I love it.
Is that something? And what about the motivation? The motivation, look, they are such motivators on that.
They are. I mean, that girl, she be on there. I mean, she's so smooth. You got to look. Her last name is Love, and she got to be maybe in her 20s. That girl is a beast. Okay.
And when you start following them on Instagram, you guys, when you start, even if you don't have a Peloton, they have a lot of things on their app for stretching and working out, and it's really motivating. So it goes far beyond the machine. It's quite an interesting setup.
Let me ask
how
you,
would
Gloria,
you figure out if you wanted to get the bike or the treadmill? Why, you guys both have the bike, right? So
right, I didn't get the treadmill because I already have one. But I was going to ask the question: have you taken any of the other classes? Because the other day I hit the yoga by accident. I was like, we can do yoga too. Have you taken some of the other classes?
Yep, I've taken I haven't taken the yoga, but I took the stretching class. I took some of the arm classes. And what I love about it is, really, honestly, you can get 10 minutes in or 15 minutes in when you can, and when you have a minute, which is great. And they really they're like talking to you because they're so motivating. You really want to do that. And I've talked to some of my girlfriends they're like, I can't wait to get on that Peloton. I can't wait to get on that Peloton. Caterina, I got the bike because I had a treadmill too. My treadmill broke. Okay. So I was glad to get it. So I wanted to try something different. I was very hesitant because usually when I ride a bike, my butt hurts. So I was like, no, that's not. But everybody I talked to didn't have any issues. And my son has it, and Eric, and they love it. So I haven't had any issues. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
And Gloria, let me tell you, my niece has it and she raves about it. And she sent me the shorts. So I ordered the shorts that have the extra padding in the back, and I wore them today, and they were it felt better.
Right. No issues. So yeah, we're gonna raise up the Peloton people up in this camp. We're gonna raise them up, even if you don't have the machine. And make
y'all need Peloton to come on and be a sponsor. How about that? Are y'all? Okay. What's the code to use? What's the code? What's the code for Peloton? Y'all doing a lot of advertising for Peloton, okay?
We're gonna do it. We're gonna figure it out. Miss Messy. First, we're gonna get Miss Messy a code. Okay, right. Did you look pretty in pink and no hat on today? Oh my goodness, isn't that pretty? Pretty in pink, hair all done. So, Sabrina, give us the update on the COVID. Give us an update on the COVID rise and fall. What do you know? What do you heard?
Well, we just see reports coming out every day that the hospitalizations are rising, the deaths are rising. The news is not talking about it. It's not being reported. But like Caterina told us when they saw the doctor not too long ago, he said that number is higher than it's ever been since the inception of COVID, since it first hit the scene. And so I just think that, they said we have to learn to live with it. And I guess that's what we're doing because people are going on about their lives. But what's so impossible is, how do we ever get well in the world when we have all the infectious people in the airports, at the store, just in the midst of the general population, just reinfecting people all over again? So that's what concerns me. How do we ever get well? How do we ever get healthy as a whole? Mm-hmm. But CDC is
I'm
saying
on day
that
9.
It's on the climb. We're in a surge right now. We are officially in a COVID surge right now.
Officially in a surge.
Mm-hmm.
In Ohio?
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
All over the country.
I'm on day 10. And so I'm on day 10 since being diagnosed. And technically after day 5, I could have been out as long as I have a mask on. The problem I have with that is you have a mask on, but everything you touch is contaminated. So it's just, but I'm supposed to be able to go out, but everyone, my girlfriend is, she works for the federal government and she is still testing positive 2 weeks later, but they had her come back to work because
2 weeks later,
the doctor said you could test positive for up to 3 months.
What? I didn't hear that.
Because you could still have some in your system. So so it's like, okay, what do you do? Because you continue to live your life. No one's staying inside for 3 months. So,
Girl, they're not staying inside for 3 days, let alone 3 months. Okay. They're not my point. Well, we're glad you're feeling better, Caterina. Your energy seems to be better. You're not as congested. So thank the Lord.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
The brain fog is real. You get a little bit of that brain fog is interesting. But yes, we had such mild symptoms. So grateful.
Yeah.
So we'll see if this is
I've heard the brain fog.
June might be a peak, but they're not sure in California.
Tell us about the brain fog, because I've heard a couple of people talk about the brain fog.
I told Anthony the other day, I said, you're talking too fast. It's like, I feel like I'm bombarded. I just feel bombarded. And so other people have said, you just notice you're not as quick, it's, so I don't know any other way to describe it other than that. And that probably goes along with the tired, lethargy that goes along with it.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. You guys, the White House expects shots for kids under 5 years old as soon as June 21st. That 80 to 90% of people over 85 have gotten their COVID shots, which is a vast majority of those over 65, but only 38% from 50 to 64 and 43% between the ages of 64 below 65. 43% of everybody below 65 have gotten their vaccination. So we're really still a very long way, if you think about it, a long way from everybody even protecting themselves. I will tell you, on Broadway last night, they were serious about the mask. People were serious about it. You could tell in New York, that people are paying attention. Not everybody by any stretch of the imagination, but you could not come in that theater without a mask. We were sitting up close, so we were like in the second or third row. They said if you're in the second and third row, they said if you're up close to the stage and the actors can see you and it falls below your nose, they will stop the show. And they will tell you they will not continue the show until you either put the mask on or you will leave. I mean, everybody.
Wow. Did they have to do it, Gloria? Did they have to do it to anybody?
No, they could have seen us. They could have seen it, but you don't want to be the one. There was 3 or 4 announcements going on. And it wasn't announcements over the loudspeaker. These were people coming into the aisle saying, you must do your mask. You could only drop it if you're getting something to drink or eat really quickly. You have to put it right back up. They said several times, if the actors see you with that mask down, they will stop the show. They will stop the song. Ain't nobody trying to, accountability is something else. They were not even joking.
Wow.
They were not.
They want to stay open
joking about that.
Everyone
right.
loses.
They want to stay open. Yeah. Exactly. They want to stay open. And that's what I felt about yesterday when I was watching the basketball players, at least the coaches. Both coaches had their mask on when they were interviewed at the mic. The players didn't, but the coaches did. And that's because they want to keep the game going. They don't want anything to stop the game. So I thought that was very interesting. Very, very
well, you go all the way to Vegas, Gloria. They're not doing that in Vegas. Vegas is, wide open because that's where my girlfriend got it from, was at the Silk Sonic concert. So they're packed up.
At the what concert? At what concert?
Silk Sonic, Bruno. I want to go. We all want to go see Silk Sonic.
She got it at the concert.
She went. She got it from the concert.
And you know what's interesting?
That's New York versus Nevada.
Right.
And when Kiara and I were there last week or a couple of weeks ago for her birthday, and we saw Anita Baker, it was a lot of people that had on, and it was a lot that did not have on their masks, and it was packed.
You saw Anita Baker? I missed that.
Yeah.
Was she fabulous?
You totally missed all of that. Oh my God. When I say her voice is as good as it was back in the day, I mean, just amazing. She's coming to Detroit next week.
Oh,
and it's
you know,
already completely sold out. Sold out.
Wow.
Sold out already. It's gone. She's from there though.
Yeah, she's from Detroit.
Oh my goodness, you guys. There's that dang on music. We got issues. We got issues. We got issues. We got issues. The Force of Friendship. We're going to be right back at 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. And we are so excited to cook back up with you in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. There's the music. We're back, and you've just joined us, and we got issues. And if you just joined us today, we're talking about a lot of things that are going on, and so we're so glad. But of course, we love it when we have a caller, so we want you guys to call in. We love it when you call in, and we have a caller. Marathon, are you on the phone line for us?
Hello.
Hey, are you there? How you doing?
How you doing?
Doing good. Looking at the news, I see they got that officer in Grand Rapids.
Yes, that was big, Marathon. Yes. Talk about it, Marathon. Talk about it.
Yeah, well, I think they said second-degree murder.
Yeah, which is big. I mean, really, for police officers to be indicted with a murder charge, it's good. You know,
right.
We don't usually see that, and we are seeing more of them being convicted, and that's good. you do the crime, you must do the time. Yes, Marathon.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go. I thought they were gonna go to a court with it, but I'm glad it went the way it went.
Exactly, for sure.
All right, I'm listening to you.
All right, thanks, Marathon.
You know what? I'm really appreciative that you brought that up, Marathon, because that was big news today. That was very big news today because they didn't know which way it was going. And it's so a shame that we always sit on the sideline, biting our teeth, wondering what is going to definitely happen. It's not something that we know is going to go that way. So this is a big deal for a lot of different reasons, Marathon. So thank you for bringing that to light. That's a big deal. Absolutely. Guys, I just got to tell this little bit. Like, there's a couple things that are going on that's big. I'm going to go to gun reform because while I was on the train, I got the message. Sabrina sent this as a mass shooting from Maryland. Run off the train, got home. I have to admit something. I was taken back when I heard it was Maryland, but it wasn't the first thing I started talking about because it's mass shooting after mass shooting after mass shooting. And today I watched a special while we were packing about the difference between a handgun and an AF-15 and what it does to the body. And there was a huge study at Wayne State University out of Detroit that talked about what happens to the body that a handgun goes right through the body, very little disturbance of the body, where an AF-15 scatters within the body. And that's why they had to use DNA with the children. So the gun reform is really big. Sabrina, did you hear anything else about the mass shooting in Maryland?
No, it was just unfolding as we hit the air. It's at some factory. That's all I know. About 75 miles outside of Baltimore. And the gunman must be deceased because they were saying that there is no imminent danger in the area now. So, when they say that, I'm led to believe that the gunman is down. So I'm sure it's all over the news while we're on the air, but it's just something that, every day we're talking about a mass shooting. Every day. That's unreal. It is really unreal and quite uncomfortable. Honestly, we were out the weekend in a big crowd, and you just are looking over your shoulder like you just don't know what might pop off at any given time. Also, somebody said manufacturing plant, 3 killed in Maryland. I don't know how many injured, but 3 killed. Okay.
Wow. And now you start asking, is it with the handgun? Is it with the AF-15? You start wondering that. You start thinking about it. And I'm gonna tell you something. When we were in Times Square last night, you really do think about these mass shootings. You think about, I'm glad I look over there, I see a cop. I'm glad I look over there, I see a cop. I'm glad I look over there, I see a cop. And you don't walk through the crowd like you used to walk through the crowd. You really walk through the crowd, seriously, with one ear up just to make sure that you don't hear anything pop off. And I don't know if you guys remember, but it was several years ago when Ken and I were at my nail salon, and a guy walked in there shooting because he was mad that his girlfriend had another boyfriend. And he walked in, no one died, but he walked in intentionally to shoot. I gotta tell that story one day. We were underneath the stuff so fast, and Ken got up and went to the woman, and she was okay. But it was crazy. It's really crazy. So now I know what guns sound, what it looks like, what it sounds like. Yeah. So I've been in there. But you guys, they said the House passed
Gloria, the Supreme Court Justice. Oh, the Supreme Court Justice. I just wanted to say that. Brett Kavanaugh. That's just crazy.
Oh, wow.
It just is becoming, you disagree with someone, so you pack all that equipment, you get on a train or however he got there. He was in a taxi cab with all of that. Okay. And then he turned himself in. As much as I disagree with his way of thinking, you would not want anyone. And now, because of what's going down tonight, they said that you cannot even imagine how much protection is surrounding the, all of the government buildings in DC because of the testimony that's going to take place tonight.
Do you guys remember a couple of years ago?
Gubernatorial candidate in Michigan? Come on, Chris.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. His name is Ryan Kelly. Okay, and he is charged. He was arrested, and he's being held on charges because he's linked to the January 6th riot. He actually was there at the riot. I mean, and it says, they have him on video. I'm telling you, that video surveillance, like it or not, it really, helps to keep people honest. And you say, oh, I wasn't there. Hold on a second. They pull it up, and guess what? They show
facial recognition.
That, absolutely. And it says, Kelly appeared to yell at the riot, "Come on, let's go. This is it. This is war." And I mean, what kind of person goes there, knows that, that Congress is looking into that, and you still have the nerve to run for governor? I mean, really?
Well, Chris,
it's the platform, Chris. It's the platform.
What all of that? He's got the nerve to run for president again. I mean, so they have a lot of nerves.
He said
he's running.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, he's gonna get a lot of support, but it's so much that's coming out on, just how crooked and all of the things that they were doing while they were in office. It's just an interesting time where the facts don't matter anymore. It's the truth, and then it's the alternative truth. And people right now are totally comfortable with the alternative truth. And so that's just the time and the season that we're living in. But yeah, I'm so glad that they were able to see him on film, and he was arrested. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. But I am totally going to be leaned in tonight listening to all of this information about the January 6th riot.
What time does it start, Chris?
I think they said 8:00.
Prime time. Prime time. They're calling it prime time. And the thing that's so interesting about it is that so much we haven't seen before. They said what they're going to come tonight with a lot of stuff that we haven't seen before. So that part's going to be very interesting. Very interesting when the House passes the sweeping gun reform that they don't think is going to go through the Senate. So all of this is happening right now.
Hey, Gloria, did you all get a chance to listen to, and it was gut-wrenching, man. They interviewed the fourth grade or third grade teacher that the gunman came into the room, and just listening to him. And he said, we didn't have anything. They had bulletproof vests, and they didn't come in, and they literally left them. And only metaphor I can think of is like sheep going to the slaughter. That's exactly. So, and I mean, they had the testimony from, one mother who had just left because they had a program for her daughter, and they told her daughter because she got all A's that they were going to take her for ice cream, and they were crying and, just imploring the senators to vote on it. And it was just amazing. I'm telling you, to listen to their response afterwards. And the reporters were asking, have you changed your mind? And do you think, you can go for that? And you think it's okay that they changed the age from 18 to 21? Really? From 18 to 21? I don't even think you can drink until 25.
Okay.
And all of them said their mind had not been changed. So you know what? Outside of God touching their hearts and turning it around, I don't know. It's just terrible. It is. It really
it's gonna be.
Millicent says it's sickening. That's how I would describe it.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Millicent said it's sickening, and that's how I would describe it.
It's crazy. Go ahead,
Gloria.
Sabrina.
I know we're talking about a lot, but I want to hear about the woman who played Tina Turner. on Broadway, because I heard Tina Turner picked her herself. So who is this woman? Where is she from? Was she fabulous?
That's good, girl. Then you're doing the cliffhanger. We're doing cliffhangers now on our podcast. There you go. Cliffhanger. For right after, she's bringing the cliffhanger, which what we were going to talk about at the beginning of the show, but there's so much other stuff. So right after the music, right after the commercial, we're coming back and talking about Tina Turner. And everybody's going to be part of this conversation for the last part of We Got Issues. We'll be right back at you. Thank you, Sabrina, for the cliffhanger. Talk to you in a minute. Here we go. For the last part. We got issues. We got so many issues. We didn't even get to the topic until the end of the show, but that's okay because I want to tell you something. Talk about simply the best. Simply the best. I have so much more respect for the Tina Turner herself, but also the woman who played her. Now, I will tell you straight up, I do not know how to pronounce her name. So to me, it looks like Nuki. I'm not sure, but she's Nigerian. And the woman who's playing Tina Turner now, you guys, just for a second, for those of you who love live, and those of you who love Broadway, and those of you who love stories, first you need to know that Tina Turner's story in and of itself is earth-shattering. I mean, it's an earth-shattering story. What I want to tell you is that she did not really hit her fame the way she got paid for her fame until she was in her 40s, which is super interesting because she had so many hits before that, but all those went to her ex-husband and that part of her life that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But the actress who's playing her now, and I'm going to call her, how do I say that? Nkeki. How would you say that? Oh my goodness. Do we have somebody on here? Kiki? Okay, let's call her Kiki, because somebody can tell us how to say her name, but she's Nigerian. She came here to the United States and they moved to New York when she was 9 years old. She went on to Charlotte, North Carolina. You guys, then she went on to the University of Michigan at their, exactly, yes. And she came out of fine arts in Michigan and she got the role, get this you guys, at 22 years old. She got the role at 22. She was not the first to get the role. The woman who first had the role got a Tony for her acting, but Kiki was in Europe, in London, doing it in London, met with Tina Turner. Tina Turner lives in Switzerland. She's been there for 25 years old, for 25 years. They go through the love story in the play about how she met the guy in Germany and they're both now living in Switzerland, but Tina picked her out to play her role. And when I tell you, first, this woman's voice will just blow you away with the power of her voice. Then her legs, the way she just has legs. Then the muscles in her arm, the way she looks like Tina. Then the way she can shake her legs. It's one thing to have a leg. It's another thing to shake your legs like that. We were mesmerized. Then, you guys, the 9-year-old that plays Tina in church at 9 years old. Chris, I know you've had this experience where you're in your church and a little girl just blows and her voice just comes from God, period. Like, period. Right. Okay. NK. Okay,
NK.
thank you.
NK.
Thank you so much.
NK.
Nikeki. Oh, I see. The part is NK. I'm calling it NK. You guys, seriously, you got to look it up because the little girl who played the part said that she just started singing and her mother was resentful of the fact that she was embarrassing her in church because she got so much attention. I mean, it's just a story where her mother and her father walks out on her. Tina Turner ends up living, of course her name is not Tina Turner, ends up living with her grandmother. Her grandmother takes care of her, and then at 17 years old, Ike finds her. The whole time he's on drugs and everything, and he's abusive to her the whole time, has 2 children. It's just amazing. She fights for 7 years as a single parent, making no money, singing on the chicken circuit, cleaning houses, doing some crazy jobs while she's singing in the joints at night and then cleaning houses in the daytime for like 5 to 7 years, you guys. Then, listen to this. They go to hear her at Capitol Records. Capitol Records will not sign her because she's Black. Period. She's Black. We're not going to sign you. She goes over to London, leaves her kids. This one guy believes in her. She says, I want to do rock and roll. Now, she's number one, she's Black. Now she wants to do rock and roll. They're like, no. And guess what? She comes back to the States with some rock and roll experience. David Bowie brings the people from Capitol Records to see her in Atlanta, and that's why she gets signed by Capitol Records. So when we talk about somebody to be at the table, someone to be at the table. So the story of Tina Turner is something magnificent. And then the story of NK. At 22 years old, you guys, she is carrying the cast on Broadway, looking like she's been in 10 Broadway shows to start with. She carried that show. And then at the end, after the play, they do a whole concert. They do a whole concert about 4 of Tina Turner's songs. it was mind-blowing. Like, seriously, it was mind-blowing. And so, as we think about going back to Broadway, and you think about, oh, it's a different experience. It's different than a concert. It's just a different experience. And to know, she said, one of the things that she said was, NK said, when she went to meet with Tina Turner, everybody thinks she's high energy, high strung, big. She says she's completely down to earth. And so many people say that your stage presence is one and your personality is something that's totally different. And so that was a big deal. So let's go to the girlfriends. What is your favorite Tina Turner song? Like, what's one of your favorite Tina Turner songs?
Simply the Best.
Simply the Best.
Well,
my
mom forever.
You said what?
I said my mom did the talent show of Rolling on the River. That was her. I mean, that was part of the reason I'm here. Okay, because that was her talent show performance, and my daddy was like, "Who are you?" So that's all.
Are you serious?
That's funny.
I can see Pert doing it. I can see Pert doing that. Can't y'all see Pert doing that role?
Oh.
I can see Pert doing that role for real.
What's love got to do with it, Gloria? That's another one. One of our viewers said, "What's love got to?" That's a great song.
Right. And so
coming to San Francisco, I'm getting my tickets now.
Yes. And listen to this, you guys. What Love's Got to Do with It? She wrote it, and that was the first time she got an Oscar. That was her Oscar song. I mean, her Grammy song. What's Love Got to Do with It? And she had, she had a zillion hits. So she came up in an era where race played such a big difference in the music industry, and a lot of songs were stolen from Ike, which is why he had issues because of the way he was brought up. But he also had a lot of issues because a lot of the music that he wrote was stolen from him, and he never got credit for it. So it was big. Bernadette said, go see Hamilton first, then Tina, then The Lion King. You guys, so many things. But Simply the Best, when she ended up with Simply the Best, and when she was on the top, and she did that Tina stand, and her hair was the Tina hair. I mean, it was fabulous. So I'm a big proponent. If you get to go, you need to go listen to Tina Turner. And now they said the next one is Michael Jackson. You've got to go and see Michael Jackson on Broadway. Big deal, big song. So here we go, you guys. We're so excited that this was the issue of so much being talked about right around the corner. I was your host today, and I had a blast with you guys. It's Sabrina checking out, Crisette checking out, Caterina checking out. Check us out on social media, guys. We want to hear from you, and we love to hear the topics. We're so glad you joined us today on We Got Issues, brought to you with the Force of Friendship. This is 9:10 AM, the Superstation, and we'll see you tomorrow, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love you lots. Peace out, as they say. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.